Something that I often ask myself, when was the last time you drank a glass of water to the glory of God? That you relished a glass of water to the glory of God? When you drank it knowing it is a gift from God. It comes from Him and is to return to Him in praise. You see, we seem to think that we have a certain amount of things that we're to do for God. And once we have completed the list, then we can go over here and do our own stuff. There has never been a time in the life of Paul Washer that I have loved God as He ought to be loved. And there has never been a time in the life of Paul Washer that I have glorified God as He ought to be glorified. You see, it changes everything, doesn't it? Now it's not just a nitpicky little legalistic system that you can check off and say, I'm a righteous man. We are empty for the very reasons that Jesus was never empty. Jesus sometimes was impoverished, He was hated, He was persecuted, He was nailed to a cross. But He was never empty. And why was He never empty? Because He had food to eat that sometimes we know not of. He had set His heart to doing the will of God. And any man or woman or child who will do the same will not have to complain about the emptiness of their life or the emptiness of their heart. We must strive to be in the center of God's will. Now, another thing that He has given us, not just one great love, not just one great passion, but He's also given us a great commission. Men, we were not made to live like most men. We were made to fight. We were made to strive. We were made to work. We were made to conquer. We were made to give ourselves for something that is eternal. Adam was given the command to do what? To go out and subdue. To bring everything in creation in harmony with the will of God. To do all his governing, all his things within the context of God's will. Now we live in a fallen world that lives in darkness and death. The kingdom of the evil one spread abroad throughout the land. You and I were not called to play video games. We were not called to sit in front of a television set. We were not called to give ourselves to trifles. We were called to advance a kingdom. To live with a passion, to fight for Him. And to only every once in a while drop our swords and look up for a smile. But sometimes it is so hard for me to live here. I want to be back in a tent. I want to be going down the river again. I want to be screaming out the gospel with people screaming back at me, demon, demon. I want to fight. I don't want comfort. I don't want ease in Zion, because the kingdom of God is built not by those who rest easily in Zion, but by those who go out into the streets and fight. And the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty. Intercessory prayer, the proclamation of the gospel, and sacrificial love. And that can be done in Muscle Shoals as well as the Amazon or the Marañón or the Zambezi. Men, rise up, O men of God. Do what you were called to do. Be valiant and strong. And know that it's going to cost you. You take your stand beside Jesus Christ and His cause, and you watch the devil come after you, buffeting you from the outside and from the inside. But that's what war is about.